Welcome back to the channel. We are kicking things off with major security updates as the White House UFC event ramps up. The Department of Homeland Security has confirmed that the UFC Freedom 250 event on the South Lawn of the White House and the Fan Festival on the Ellipse are now designated as Tier 1 events, signaling the highest level of security possible for this massive gathering. We dive into what this means for the upcoming spectacle and the heightened threat landscape.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we have a spicy heavyweight showdown brewing at the White House. Paulo Costa is making a bold declaration, stating he is willing to step in as the heavyweight contender against Josh Hockett, and he's not holding back on his ambition to bring the BMF belt back to the heavyweight division. Find out what this means for the division's future and who might be next in line. Now we turn to the drama behind the scenes with former star Darren Till. He has unleashed a scathing critique, blaming Dana White's ego for his declining interest in the UFC, and he lays out exactly why he feels the promotion has lost its edge. We break down Till's brutal honesty about the current state of the UFC. And finally, we look at the personal fallout with Brian Ortega. He opens up about his toxic past relationship with UFC star Tracy Cortez, admitting he messed up and sharing the painful reasons why that connection became so complicated. Don't miss this full breakdown of the UFC's biggest stories. Stay with us. The White House UFC Freedom 250 event and the Ellipse event in June are receiving the highest level of security measures possible, according to a Department of Homeland Security spokesperson speaking to ABC News. The department designated both events as Tier 1 events, which signifies the highest level of security for federal events, alongside other major gatherings such as the Super Bowl, the Chicago Marathon, and the Rose Bowl game. Historically, the federal coordinator for Tier 1 events has been an agent from either Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, or the U.S. Secret Service. For instance, the security posture for the Super Bowl in San Francisco this year was managed by the lead HSI agent from the San Francisco field office. It is important to note that these events are not classified as national special security events, which carry a designation from the Secretary of Homeland Security and include events like the presidential inauguration and the 250 military parade. The UFC Freedom 250 event, which includes a fight on the South Lawn of the White House, was developed with significant involvement from President Donald Trump. UFC President Dana White has announced that the event will feature not only the fight, but also a fan festival at the Ellipse and activities across the National Mall, including a press conference at the Lincoln Memorial. Law enforcement sources indicate that the threat landscape is currently very dynamic. A recent alert issued by the Department of Homeland Security to law enforcement partners nationwide addressed the threat posed by lone actors. The bulletin noted that while lone offenders in the homeland have not historically been motivated by issues related to Iran, the IRGC, or Shia violent extremism, the potential existential threat to the Iranian regime and increased U.S. or Israeli actions could potentially motivate some U.S.-based violent extremists or hate crime perpetrators to target individuals perceived as Jewish, pro-Israel, or linked to the U.S. government or military. Former UFC fighter Paulo Costa has publicly indicated his willingness to challenge Josh Hockett in the heavyweight division at the upcoming UFC White House event. Costa stated that he would step in if Derek Lewis were to withdraw from his scheduled fight, explicitly stating he would compete at heavyweight. Costa expressed confidence in his ability to compete against Hockett, suggesting that fans would be interested to see how the former middleweight would fare in the heavyweight division without weight cutting. He even hinted that he might enter the fight heavier than Hockett. Furthermore, Costa mentioned a financial incentive, noting that he would receive his $100,000 back. Costa also made a strong statement regarding the BMF belt, arguing that 155-pound fighters are too small for the title, and that the BMF rightfully belongs in the heavyweight or open division, emphasizing the status of the heavyweight as THEBADDESD man on the planet. Former UFC star Darren Till has leveled harsh criticism at UFC CEO Dana White, attributing his declining interest in the promotion to White's excessive ego. Till's comments came amid growing skepticism regarding the current product and matchmaking decisions within the UFC. The criticism surfaces as the promotion gears up for its next major event, UFC Freedom 250, which will feature a lightweight title fight between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje, alongside Alex Pereira's interim heavyweight title bout against Cyril Gane, slated to take place on the White House lawn this summer. Till, who left the UFC in 2023 following a 3-fight losing streak at middleweight and has since transitioned to boxing, spoke candidly on the Ariel Helwani show about his relationship with the UFC leadership. He stated, "I don't want to slight Dana, I like Dana, but I think his ego is getting too much out of control." Till expressed a significant disconnect from the current state of the UFC, noting that he no longer watches the organization. He suggested that the events have lost their excitement due to a scarcity of top-tier stars. Furthermore, Till voiced frustration with the media handling of the organization, criticizing the reluctance of reporters to press Dana White on sensitive topics. "It just annoys me, too much ego," Till continued, emphasizing that he believes the fighters should be the focus, as back-and-forth action is what engages him. He concluded that the fighters are the only ones who should be driving the action. Till had parted ways with White and the matchmakers cordially in 2023. His career has since shifted to boxing, where he has secured victories against Luke Rockhold and Anthony Taylor in Misfits boxing. The comments from Till highlight ongoing tensions regarding the direction and management of the UFC. UFC star Brian Ortega has opened up on the tumultuous nature of his past romantic relationship with flyweight Tracy Cortez, admitting to making significant mistakes in the pairing. In a recent interview on Dominic Cruz's Love and War podcast, Ortega described the relationship as toxic, revealing a moment of self-realization where he acknowledged, I F asterisk up. Ortega detailed that while he initially hoped to build a strong partnership with Cortez, his subsequent actions led to a breakdown. He explained that his decision to pursue the relationship, despite knowing it wouldn't work, was influenced by ego, particularly concerning the reaction of his family and mother, who expressed disappointment regarding his choices. Ortega noted that the environment during training camps, including the Volkanovski fight, was fraught with conflict and dumb nonsense. He also referenced Cortez's brief public connection with former light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, noting that the pair eventually parted ways cordially. Despite the public split, Ortega and Cortez have maintained a relatively cordial relationship over the past year. Both fighters are currently focused on rebuilding their careers following recent setbacks. Ortega has not fought since a loss to Aljamain Sterling at UFC Shanghai, and Cortez has not competed since a loss to Aaron Blanchfield at UFC 322.